Poppy and John, we've been accustomed to Bernie Sanders bringing in big fundraising totals every quarter. But I have to say, even this number shocked those of us that have been covering his campaign from the very beginning. Let's take a look at the numbers once again. This is where Bernie Sanders is right now, $34.5 million. Compare that to Pete Buttigieg's fourth quarter, which was 24.7. When we saw Buttigieg's number yesterday, we thought that was a big number. Sanders has bested it by almost $10 million. And when you compare the trend lines, Bernie Sanders raised about $25 million in quarter number three. Pete Buttigieg at about $20 million. We thought those numbers were pretty impressive as well. I think one of the things we always have to keep in mind when we talk about Bernie Sanders fundraising, he is not doing this by calling up billionaires and millionaires, holding high dollar fundraisers. This is largely an online operation fueled by small dollar donations, somewhere in the range of $18 a donation. And the vast majority of Sanders donors still have the ability to give more, and most have not reached the maximum $2,800 threshold. Now, we do have to put this into context because these Democratic candidates have been raising a lot of money. But when you compare it to Donald Trump and his campaign, it is still pretty competitive. In fact, right now, the Trump campaign, the RNC, has raised $125 million. All of that money goes to support the Trump reelection campaign. Trump's campaign itself has a cash-on-hand advantage of $158 million. You know, John and Poppy, for the most part, Bernie Sanders has been, right in the top tier, but not necessarily the front runner. You have to take a look at these numbers, take a step back, and realize, if you don't believe it yet, that there is a very realistic chance that Bernie Sanders could win Iowa. These resources are very impressive. Organization and on-the-ground efforts are so important to winning the Iowa caucuses. As John mentioned, 2020 is off and running.